Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tea with TPS, a program of informal chats with thought leaders in India and abroad. Today, we have an exceptionally happy couple from California joining us, TJ Mathew and Sally Mathew, who preside over a family around the globe and a huge network of admirers and friends in every corner of the world. They have the best of both worlds, Kerala and California, where they have wonderful homes in which they live alternately. Wherever they are, they bring sunshine and cheer among their friends, and they organize splendid parties for friends, and they devote their time to philanthropic activities in Kovalam and elsewhere. They are at the moment in California, but their friends are waiting for them in Trivandrum to enjoy their hospitality once again. So I'm sure your friends around the world will be watching you when you tell us about your life in Kerala and California. Welcome, TJ and Sally.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the kind words. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's good to see you after a long time. I'm glad you will be back. You'll be back very soon. So tell us first about California and the United States, where you are now. Things are changing all around the world. Many things are happening. What do you see from California, United States, India, the world, the pandemic, whatever your thoughts are? DJ.
No, he said TJ.
Huh?
You go.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
I always play behind my wife. Okay.
That's very safe.
Well, California now the COVID is settling down. Now they are starting to give the vaccination from 5-year-old, 5 to 12. So that's a new development.
New, right? That is very new. 5-year-old is quite new. Today only I read about it.
See?
Yeah, 5 years old.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Today they announced that Pfizer got the okay for 5 to 12.
Right.
So by then, hopefully, we will be out of our mask culture, I think.
But are they using masks in America and California, in your state?
Yes.
Unlike some other state where there is resistance to the masks.
Yeah, they are lifting little by little, but even in closed areas, you have to wear it.
And how about the situation itself? Is infection increasing, decreasing, hospitalization less, more? What is the situation?
I'd say it's less, yeah. And it seems like people are finally getting back to normal a little bit.
The schools will be open, or they are already open.
They open, yeah, this week.
And,
well, by the time you come back, we'll be open also for schools. We are going through the.
Will be delayed that long?
Sorry?
You think we'll be delayed that long to get back?
Well, it'll be till about 1st of November.
Oh, very good.
Uh-huh.
At the moment, we are all online. But there's a huge exercise because all these 1.5 years to 2 years, schools were closed, buses are not working, things have to be cleaned up. So it's a major job that they have undertaken in order to prepare for school.
Okay. So that's a good sign.
Yes, it's a good sign.
Yeah.
And the number of infections are less the last few days. But still, we cannot relax because the number of deaths exceed 100 a day, which is quite serious.
Okay.
And but on vaccine, we are doing well. We are doing as well, if not better, than the United States. At least one vaccination has been given to virtually 60% of the people.
Oh, okay. Any other political development there?
Well, we have the political developments every day.
Yeah.
But as far as we are all still analyzing Mr. Modi's visit.
Oh,
Did you follow it there? Was there much reporting?
down the 14th. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Actually, this time Modi's visit in USA was not covered well at all.
I see. Okay.
No mention in anywhere. I learned only from the Indian press, not from USA.
I see. That used to be the story before, long before our nuclear tests. Indian prime ministers did not make any news in the US.
Oh,
But after the nuclear test, when Mr. Vajpayee came, it was front page story in New York Times. Here is the man with the nuclear bomb. It was a big difference. I was in the US at that time. It was a big difference. But otherwise, reports from India were only about air crashes or plane crashes, train accidents and things like that. But now India has become a factor. You, of course, know about this new group which has been formed, the Quad, in which India, Australia, and Japan have come close together. Then there is another grouping called AUKUS, where Australia, UK, and US have got together. So the world is changing very rapidly.
what was the need for the AUKUS when the Quad was already there?
Well, I normally say that this is because India's reluctance to be part of a military pact. So they really wanted Quad to be a military alliance, but India was shy of it. Our argument being that we have a long land border. We are the only country with a long land border with China.
Yes.
And it will not be helpful for us to provoke them.
Yeah.
And therefore, we have maintained that we will have cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region, more for the good of the world, whether it is the pandemic or climate change or supply chains. So you cooperate more productively. So the United States felt that they need a more robust defense arrangement. And that is why I think they tied up this three countries which are already in military alliance. So they're showing that these three countries are concentrating on Indo-Pacific and working with the United States. So in a way, the two alliances have been divided. One dealing with military aspects and other dealing with what is good for the world. Constructive cooperation. This is how I interpret it, but there might be other explanations for it.
So AUKUS is only supplementing the Quad or replacing?
Or maybe the other way around.
Okay.
AUKUS may gain greater importance. Depends on what China does. If China becomes very aggressive, then AUKUS will come into play. When they are cooperating with us, then Quad will come into play. But I think they will work in a complementary manner. Initially, there was some anxiety in India why they did this when we have already a grouping. But now, after Mr. Modi's visit to Washington, we are much more comfortable with it.
Oh, because it created a lot of noise.
Does this get reported in the US media?
Okay. It created a lot of noise here, mainly because of the France.
Right. France was very agitated. Yes.
Yeah.
France felt deceived by the Americans.
Yeah.
And they withdrew their ambassadors from UK and US. No, that is, you know why it was? Because they lost a huge contract.
Okay.
They had signed a huge contract to manufacture submarines, that is traditional submarines, with Australia. Because Australia is an NPT country, so they cannot normally have nuclear power submarines. So for the first time, US is giving nuclear-powered submarines to the Australians. So far, they have given only to UK, nobody else in the world.
Oh, but India has one, doesn't it?
Who?
India has a submarine.
We have a leased submarine from Russia.
Oh, okay.
So also we are building one ourselves. So we already have, yes.
Okay. Oh.
But we are not an NPT country, so we can use nuclear technology.
Okay.
While Australia is very conservative about use of nuclear power. So as a part of AUKUS, they will get that advantage.
Okay.
So what were you doing, Sally, during this stay in California?
Well,
Children you or
oh, it's, been
About,
good to,
about Biden?
about Biden.
right? I was asking about the family first.
Well, I like Biden. Okay. I mean, I think he's had some bad
Loud,
things. What?
louder.
Louder?
Yeah, okay, I can hear you.
He's had some bad moments, but I think he means well. That's the thing. So I respect him. I'm not anti-Biden like many people are here now, it seems.
But you are not a Democrat. You are not a committed Democrat, are you? Are you a committed Democrat?
I'm a committed Democrat, yes, but I'm not active in it anymore.
She was active,
Yeah, I was in the
and
old
then
days.
I served a notice, either Democrat Party or I, and she chose me.
So it's a compliment to you that she chose you.
Yeah. What a
Right.
choice.
How about you? Were you committed to Democratic Party or to Republican?
You.
BJ.
He asked you.
You know that?
Are you committed to
Being a Republican?
No, I don't have any party. I go for the candidate. Actually,
Did
this
you like?
time I
You
voted
like?
for Biden.
Did you like Trump at all?
Did
Did
you
you
like
see anything good in Trump?
No, I don't. When Trump came in, I thought, oh, that would be a good change, a businessman running the country. But
Okay.
he disappointed me. Not disappointed me. He made me scared.
Right.
I never
Like the rest of the world. Like the
Yeah.
rest of the world. But coming to think of it, he did not fight a war.
Yeah, right.
I voted for Biden, not for Biden, but for Kamala Harris.
Right. Tell us about Kamala Harris. What do you think of her?
Well, as you know, we like her, even
Good.
though I'm a little threatened with her two leftist unions.
Right.
That's what I like about her.
But she is more projecting herself as more as a African origin than Indian.
Yes, black leader. That's what her.
That's for the votes, I think.
Yeah, well, but the Indians also voted for her in large numbers this time, didn't they?
I mean,
Your
about Indians,
own brother was a supporter of Kamala Harris. Remember? They were on this show and they told us that was
okay.
soon after Kamala Harris was nominated. They were on my show and they told me that they had good contacts with her and they were happy that she was going to be the vice president. I remember that.
Yeah.
Because I was just talking to Sally yesterday that Biden chose that she's not going to last because she doesn't know what he's talking about, what he's doing. So very soon, maybe Kamala Harris will take over, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is a possibility. But during the Prime Minister's visit, I don't know whether you noticed that she made some comments about Indian democracy.
Yes.
Well, she put it very, very nicely. She said both our democracies need attention.
In her talk with Modi, she wanted us.
Yeah, she didn't say that, Indian democracy is in danger, but she said that both our democracies are in danger because you know what happened on 6th of January and all that everybody knows. Okay. And therefore, she put it nicely that way. And in fact, Mr. Modi did not react to it. He did not say, no, our democracy is good. He didn't say that. But when he went to the United Nations, he spoke about India's democracy and how India is the mother of all democracies. In other words, saying that we don't need to be taught about democracy. But I think they both handled that meeting very well.
Yes.
And you notice that Mr. Modi invited Kamala Harris to come to India.
Yeah.
And he said it in very warm terms. He said, we want you to come to India so that we can celebrate your journey from Chennai to California to Washington. That was very warm. So it was not a political visit, but a personal invitation that we want to celebrate your victory because your victory is the victory of the Indian community, Indian diaspora in the United States. But he made it very clear.
Maybe we will have her over to Kovalam to give her a fish curry.
Yes, absolutely. And I think she likes dosha. So
Yeah.
sure Sally can cook up a nice dosha for her. Good.
Yeah.
But how is the family? How are your brothers and children? And how are they all doing?
All are okay. All are busy with their own life.
Yeah,
We see them off and on.
more on Zoom than anywhere.
They have with the kids are one girl goes to dance, the other one goes for baseball, and one goes to life is chaotic as usual.
No, that's
Yeah.
good to be grandparents because you don't have to take any responsibility. You simply have to enjoy them, right?
Right.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have to drive them to the golf course, or you don't have to take them to school. You just enjoy them when they are close to you.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
We're ideal situation. Yeah.
When somebody asked an American child, "Where do your grandparents live?" and the child said, "They live at the airport. Whenever we
Oh.
want them, we go and pick them up, and when we don't want them, we'll drop them back."
Very good.
That is their concept of grandparents.
Okay.
And are you in touch with your friends in India?
We have booked for 3rd November. So arriving there on 4th November.
Okay. And then the parties will start, hopefully.
Hopefully this time we can see you more about more people.
We have so many invitations, stacked up, so we can come every day. That's what's going to happen.
Very good.
Provided the pandemic does not hurt us.
Yeah. Okay. So now there's a Biden blames Republicans for looming ones.
Yeah.
Yes. They will always, but Trump is also very active,
Okay.
right? Don't you see?
Yeah,
He's,
he is.
He's trying for 2024.
And he gets a lot of media coverage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Negative.
Not always. No.
Anyway, tell us about your experience about living in two worlds. How does it differ? When you are here, your lifestyle, when you are in California, your style, do they change?
Yeah, you mentioned that we are living in both, best of the both.
Yeah.
Both worlds.
Best of,
Isn't it true? Isn't it true?
I mean, of course, yes. As a matter of fact, there's no other place better than California weather-wise.
Mhm.
And there's no other place than Kovalam, which is good for a easy life.
Yes, and you have this fabulous house on the rock facing the sea. I don't think
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
anybody
yeah.
else as a home like that.
I mean,
So, no, but what I'm saying is when you are in different places, how does your lifestyle change?
well, the style, food habit is the same. Otherwise, lifestyle, as here it is hectic. As you know, we have 8 children spread all over USA and one even in Israel. So when we are here, it is hectic. When we are in Kovalam, it's a much more easy life,
Yeah.
or at least it was before the Kovalam FC.
Yeah.
So the life there is, as Sally says, that people have more time for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Here it
No,
is.
what I want to explore with you is how do you keep yourself happy as a couple?
Happy in Kovalam.
Everybody is looking for happiness. What is
Oh.
your definition of happiness?
In Kovalam, actually, have you seen the advertisement of Volkswagen? They say, find your own road.
Right.
Yeah, so in Kovalam, we find our own friends.
Right.
And so that made the life really interesting.
Yeah.
And
Tell us about your football club, which is your latest contribution to Kerala's life. The football club, you have adopted a whole group of boys in Kovalam and turned them into a world-class football group. Tell us about that. How did it start?
okay, as a matter of fact, yesterday, the Kerala Football Association announced the next KPL. KPL is Kerala Premier League,
Okay.
the best tournament we have. And there are 3 venues: Malappuram, Kozhikode, Trichur and Kochi. Not Trivandrum, not even a single
Yeah.
match in Trivandrum.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't understand that. Why Trivandrum can't have one match at least?
Because they don't have a
Yeah.
stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is it. Because I contacted the KFA and their secretary said we don't have a good stadium.
But what happened to the stadium which we built for the national games? It is now a venue for weddings, I believe.
Yeah, but then their rentals are very high.
Okay.
And the stadium that we have, really, the Karivattam Stadium, we use it not for games, but for weddings.
Right.
See, I don't know, but then I complain about people not having any interest in football. But then Sali's answer is that maybe that is not their interest. They don't want football.
No, I think there's a lot of craze about football, at least in north of Kerala. They know all about Brazil and Argentina and all advertisements about Brazil. And I don't know, somehow they like Argentina more, some of them like Brazil more. There's a big fight going on there. So that shows there's a lot of interest. But how did you think of the idea of a football club in Kovalam?
The idea was actually when we moved to India, Kovalam, we started an education trust to help people without parents or widowed single mothers through school. So at any given time, we had about 5 or 6 kids on this
You
program.
simply adopted them from the school and supported them. Is that it?
Yes. Just going to the
school. They lived in their own homes, but you looked after them, right?
Not only paying the fees, but we used to go to the school. We used to go to their homes. So like that, we got involved with this going. But when we were growing old, we realized that we can't do that. We can't keep on doing it. So at that time, I came across the Kovalam Football Club, and we went and watched a couple of games. We noticed that they have the talent. They have the stamina. The only thing, they don't have the stamina. So we thought, we checked around and we found that their food habit is at home. It's just fish curry and rice.
But it's not fish
and
curry.
There's no fish, only curry.
Just the
and the rice, that is their food. And they eat a lot of rice.
Right.
That is not good for an athlete. So we thought of starting a hostel. We rented a place and we had 18 kids. We started the hostel. And that experiment was good. Then
you gave them nourishing food, for example. Yeah.
And beg your pardon?
Good food, nourishing food.
Yeah.
No. So very scientifically designed menu. And even the parents started complaining that they are not getting 16 chapatis when we gave only 5. But then we said, this is what we are going to give. Because that is only 16 chapatis are not good for the kids.
Yeah, we also include fruit and vegetables.
So this is how it happened. And then I gathered some funds from my family, my children, their kids, and my siblings, their children, and built our own hostel. And next to MV school. The MV school was very supportive. They gave us the land for the stadium. They gave us the land for the hostel. Now the stadium is there. That is a very interesting thing about the stadium. If we had a full-size stadium, we would have had the KPL tournament there. And we cannot have a full-size because we are lacking about 2 cents of land.
I see.
Yeah, because the ground is full-size, but there's no safety sort of line behind the goal post. The distance is not enough. So
the land is the most difficult thing to get in Kerala, you know that. Land is the most difficult thing. Even the fact that you got a ground like that is astonishing, surprising.
Yeah.
So we have a neighbor there who has about a few acres in about 20 places in Hermanur. We said, can you give us 2 cents? Not give. Can you sell us 2 cents?
Yeah.
You tell us how much we give you. No, they won't give. And that land is just wasted.
We've asked them many times.
So this is the type of the mentality. I told him, and he's an educated guy. I said, look, if you give us that 2 cents, this is going to be an international stadium.
Right.
So property value, your value will be doubled. There's nothing you don't. So that is the only reason we don't have a KPL game in Trivandrum.
I think we should work on it and try
Yeah.
to persuade him in
Very
some way.
good. That would be great. Yeah.
I must have
I'll
called
come
on
with you to go and see him. I'll come with you to go and see him once again. Let's see whether I can try my magic on him. I said, I'll go with you to see him.
He'll go with you to see him, to see the guy that has the property.
Oh, please. I will be
Yeah.
so happy.
Yeah.
I'll be maybe I don't know why he couldn't, because he is, as I mentioned, he is a well-educated, highly placed guy. Anyway, next time, yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
I must have called on at least about 10 people in Trivandrum asking for 4 acres of land. Some of them are really wealthy people. Some of them don't have any siblings or any kids to hand over their wealth, but they wouldn't give us. So finally, the MB school gave us the land for us to develop. We spent, together we must have spent about 2.5 crores so far. Now I have come to a stage. Have you heard about this, how to make an elephant soup?
No?
Okay, that's, you get an elephant first.
Right.
Look for a pot to cook the elephant.
Yeah.
So, in my case, I have found the elephant. Now I'm looking for a pot.
That is more difficult because elephants are there.
Take over this from me because I'm at 88 years old. There's a limit I can do. Now I said, I
And
don't
all
want
this is your own money. It's all your own money, or you got contributions from people?
No, I said the infrastructure that we have now,
Yeah.
we will hand over for anybody to run it. I don't want anything. Just make sure that it is run not only for Kovalam FC, but the complete coastal area kids. We have come at a stage, we have outgrown Kovalam FC asset because now we are looking for other clubs in the area to develop the children. Because this experience we got from the Kovalam FC is very rewarding, very satisfying, and kids are doing very well.
Doing very well.
They go to school, and we give them yoga lessons, we give them tutorial, we give them English classes. We now, this time when we go, we are going to start teaching them how to eat with fork and knife.
Okay.
So these are the areas that the kids are very absorbent.
No, this is one of the reasons why I invited you to this show. I want people to know what you are doing. I don't think there are enough people who understand the kind of...
That is good. I was wondering why you invited us to this show. Now I know. That's good. That is good to know.
No, I told you 2 things. I wanted to explore the secret of your happiness. And I'm trying to find out what exactly it is. And this is one of them. Philanthropy and charity, I think, give you a lot of happiness, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, it's charity is one area, but our idea is to get these kids to a level that they can bring their whole family up. Because there's a lot of poverty in our area.
Yeah.
And
the whole story of teaching people how to fish rather than give them a fish, isn't it? So the charity should be to teach the people how to fish,
exactly,
rather than give him a fish, right? So that new generations grow up with that.
I always remember my father used to say that, hey, if you are giving a rupee to a beggar, don't give it to him, leave it on the road, let him bend at least to take it. Make him do something.
Yeah.
So we are happy what we are doing, but only thing we are looking for somebody to take it over from us. I don't want anything in return. Take over what you have now, which is a good infrastructure.
But does the school itself is not capable of doing that? The school itself?
The MB school?
Yes.
And I have spoken to them. They don't have any interest in that. They don't have... they gave us the land, I don't know whether because of the cost or because of me. Because my father was in Neyattingara for 3 years. At that time, this MB family and our family were very close. living as one family, as a matter of fact. So first time when I went to the manager, he said straight away, no, I don't want to have anything to do with such a program. Coming
No,
back, for the
they
next
must always be suspicious. People are always suspicious when somebody comes and offers something.
Yeah.
They say, "What is this man?"
I can understand
Yeah.
that. I can understand that.
That's
So
true.
when I came back, I saw the school, I saw the name, MV School. I didn't know at that time. When I went to the manager, I didn't know the name of the school. I went with our coach. When I saw the MV, I asked the watchman, this MV by any chance stands for MVLI? Then he said, oh yeah. He said, who is the guy whom you met? That is his younger son. So when I came home, I sent him an email saying that, maybe you don't know, but we have a long way back, our relationship between your parents and my parents. And I still remember my immediate elder brother and I were used to be picked up every Saturday morning in his, we used to call that his car a kundi car because it had a bucket seat, the back.
The back.
It was an alternate or something. So my brother and I were picked up from home, Nayyatingara home, taken to Trivandrum to MV's in the car, to his office. From there, we go to Ari Bhavan for our jalebi and masala dosha, and taken back to this in the car at home. Every Saturday for 3 years, we did that. So this, I never heard anything from him for a long time. After a couple of months, he called and said, Mathew, sir, are you free to come home for dinner? Then I said, no, my daughter is here from there. No, bring her too. So we went there. At that time, he said, you told me my father had a red car. My father didn't have a red car. And you said that his office was in Chala. No, it was not in Chala. It was at Theatre Lane. So I said, okay, so I thought you were a crank. And then he went his eldest brother who lives in Kumarviram and said, this guy came like this. Oh, our father's first car was the red car, Fortunate. And then our office was in Chile. Anyway, who is the guy who came? He said,
Now you're able to go on the track.
he said, Mathew, and in his note, he said that his father was the magistrate in Nayyatingara. Jacob, sir, yes, sign whatever he wants. Just sign whatever he wants. That is how he got the gist.
Oh, that's remarkable, because such things don't happen in Kerala, particularly when it comes to land. But about trusting other people, you must be reading the stories of too much trust on one person who is an antique dealer. Did you hear the stories coming from here?
Okay.
No, antique dealer? Who was that?
No, somebody who was an antique dealer.
Nadeshan.
No. You have not heard this about this man before. So he was selling things like the Moses' staff.
Okay.
And Sri Krishna's curd, vessel.
Okay.
And Adam's little fig leaf. And these are the things that he was selling for crores of rupees in Kerala.
Oh.
Okay.
And imagine all these people were fooled. It's a huge story. And now it has an implication for the reputation of Keralites. Because how can we be so gullible if somebody comes and tells you, and this is Tipu Sultan's throne, then somebody offers him 2 crores of rupees.
Okay.
And highly respected people, senior police officers, being photographed on Tipu Sultan's throne.
Oh. Okay.
He's a youngster, and now he has been arrested. And his bank account, he has only 276 rupees. But he has been dealing in billions, millions of rupees, crores of rupees, and people were buying things from them and giving him this kind of money for what they thought were antiquities. So when you come here, you will pick up all the stories. But if you read Malayalam newspapers, you will find a lot of stories about it.
Okay.
So I have just written a story saying that this is going to hurt our image Kerala's image. We are supposed to be intelligent, we are supposed to be literate, we are to be business-like, we are in God's own country. But if these are the kind of people who live here, I don't think our reputation will will last very long. That was my point I was making. Because it is not just an ordinary crime. This shows the gullibility of people.
Oh,
That-
gullible.
that is
Okay. Okay.
good. You can catch up with the story when you come back.
Another separate thing about Kolam FC is that we are the only team who field only local players.
Mhm.
We don't import players from Africa or from Assam. We
Not
have
even
our own-
coaches. You don't bring coaches even. You do.
Yeah.
How about coaches?
the completely homogeneous players and youngest team when compared to any other team. We have not been winning any matches, but we are making a statement in such a way that our players are being recruited by other clubs like Gokulam, Tamil Nadu Police. This year, 7 of our players were recruited by 4 from Gokulam, 1 Tamil Nadu Police, 1 Coimbatore Club. So this is how we do not win championship, but we create champions.
Very good. Mm.
And that is one thing. Our sponsor is a Federal Bank, and they also said we are not keen on winning. Continue what you are doing.
Mhm.
So ours is the only club fielding purely Kerala players, mainly our coastal area. Now the coastal area has become from Kasaragod to Kanyakumari.
Right. Right.
And
No,
all
but
of
Kolam was not very well developed, though we had tourism and so on. There were a lot of poor people, fishermen, etc., were not benefited by the tourism industry.
I mean,
So what
you can tell them about that cake story, how our kids are so poor.
Oh, yeah.
You can say that
We have, whenever they win, we always have a lunch for them and
at home.
at our house. And we do that often because they win often. So it's fun. And they come and we have chicken. The first time we did it, we had chicken and then we were going to have lunch right after they ate. And there was no chicken left. We had cooked 17 chickens or something. They ate every bite. So from now on, we put ours in the kitchen when they eat. But anyway, they excuse me when they after for that one meeting we had a big win. So we bought a beautiful chocolate cake for them, and oh, they were so excited. They had that. It was a great lunch. And after the lunch, they always come. We have a line in front of the door, and they come and shake our hands and say thank you and so forth. So we did that day, and several of them wouldn't shake our hands. They, back out and say goodbye and thank you and not stop. So finally, I said, "What can I ask you, please?" One of the fellows that I knew, I said, "Can you? I ask you why some of these people are not shaking hands?" And he said, "Well, that's because they can't because they have got some cake in their hand for their mothers." And big handfuls of
they're
chocolate
carrying
cake.
it home. They were carrying it home, were they?
Yes,
Yeah.
right. Uh-huh.
Nice.
So that is the kind of our kids.
No, but this shows the value of what you are doing. That is what I am reading into this.
Oh,
So these
well,
are things you are creating a different world for them, a different lifestyle.
that's true. That's true.
In this COVID time, actually, we were stuck with 9 kids
Mhm.
because they don't have any place to go to.
Yeah,
So the parents said, can they continue staying in the hostel? So we said, yes.
on the weekends.
So these are the type of kids we have.
We usually send the kids home on Friday night and they come back on Monday morning. So they have time at their homes. And that we think that's good. But then there were some parents that said, please, can you keep them on the weekends too? So we did.
Yes, they may not have enough to eat, so at least their children are able to have.
That's true. That's
food.
yeah.
That is why how they must be looking at it.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
What else have you done in Kovalam other than the football club, the school,
The school.
any other activities?
As I mentioned in the beginning, we never got involved in it. We have been actually in the niche.
Okay.
Our family is the biggest donor yet.
Mhm.
Even A.K. Anthony couldn't beat us.
I see.
He donated a hall, but we donated 13 classrooms.
Yeah. How many bathrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Rotary Institute. Then the Marion Play Home. We have done many various things, mainly with the complete family involved. Not only, we don't have that kind of money, but we organized it.
Yeah.
And now the entire thing is called FC.
Well, that's very great. Because I wanted people you to know that people like you come back to India and give back a lot to the country from where you left. And so that's great. And you continue to interact with people here. Everybody wants to, come and see you and spend time with you. So it's a great thing. That's why I said I want my viewers to see a couple, an exceptional couple who live in two parts of the world, but they try to bring together as a kind of bridge, even in prosperity. Because the idea is to give to the poorer people so that they also come to a higher level. So this is really, it is more than charity. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
That's an interesting thing because the Kovalam property we have, we bought it in 1963. At that, and the first lot we bought was 13 cents. The total price was 500 rupees.
yeah.
Okay. And then when we came back to retire in 1990, we bought the other property that was 17,000 a cent.
Yeah. Big
When we
difference.
bought.
Yeah.
Now, this time we thought of starting a sports club to get some revenue to support the Kovalam FC. So I thought of selling half of Kovalam property in exchange of properties in Puar, etc., for different clubs, boat club and things like that. So I asked my brother, this is the situation, shall I sell it and give the money, and then the other half I'm going to lease it full time? So he said, now, did you really earn that? I said, no. Well, it was given to you. So when you take something from somebody, you have a responsibility. In this case, your responsibility, your children don't need it, give it back. Give it back to the society. That is how we disposed of our Kovalam properties.
But now it's much more than what you originally bought. No? It's now a big property. It is a big property now. It is a big property now.
The Kovalam one?
Yes?
Yeah.
The Kovalam, half of it we sold.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And in exchange of that, we got 1.5 acres in Puar.
All right.
We acquired that with the hope of having an international football school.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking to some club in Germany and Spain, but then the COVID stuck.
Yeah.
Another area we bought in exchange of the Kovalam was in Karingal Beach, which is about 1 hour from Kovalam, Tamil Nadu.
Mm-hmm.
That is kept as a reserve to build the stadium in case we can't get a place in Kerala, Philanthropist.
Okay. That's very good.
Only 1 hour, and after the road is complete, maybe about half an hour.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. And the other half we leased to a society to run the sports clubs. So that will bring in a revenue, which would be the backup money for Kovalam FC, because Kovalam FC needs a lot of money. We have in the hostel, we have 49 seats for the kids, but today we have only 23 because we can't afford more than that. One kid costs us about 7,200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And these kids stay there 12 months a year.
For the food and all. Yeah.
So it is very difficult to that. We have Muthoot and RM, two companies giving a scholarship. But that is only 5 and 10, 15 kids. The others we are supporting. But we can go up to 47 if you have the money.
But don't you have scope to
Might be
expand
need-
with all the friends that you have in Trivandrum? Can't you get more money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the reason of, because there's a corpus fund is a must. Can't keep on begging all the time, and so that is one reason.
You need to generate some income.
Yes, a regular income and a corpus fund. Now every infrastructure is in place. Now I am out for the corpus fund. So there was a time when people smiled and crossed the road to shake my hands. But now when they see me, they cross the road the other side.
And they hide. Yeah.
Because they think that you will ask for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
We are
friend
happy
who,
what we are doing, but we are not going to turn back.
No.
I have a friend who raised money for his project by waiting at the Kochi airport, looking for Malayalis coming back with huge bags, and then
Oh.
he was able to build
That's a good idea.
But I think people are, the remittances are quite high. In fact, it has increased during the COVID. Did you know that? More money has started coming into Kerala during the COVID.
More money.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because
No,
people didn't want to spend money elsewhere, and they were sending it back and investing and so on. So foreign direct investment has increased in India generally and Kerala particularly during COVID times.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
That was an interesting phenomenon. So what
Okay.
are your plans when you come back?
Okay. Okay. That is,
You mean come back after our trip this time back to India?
Yes. Now. In November, you are going to be back.
yes. Yeah.
So are you going to have visitors, children coming to see you and so on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
They love India too. Yeah.
That is where I see happiness. When I mention children, both of you are smiling very much more than what you are smiling so far. So that is really a sign of happiness. People should learn that. And you have a vast family. You have very distinguished brothers, TJs, George, for example. Everybody knows Professor Calliot in Stanford University. Your own son is a celebrity, TV star. Maybe if you tell us about your family, I think we can spend a whole hour about that. Who are all the stars in the family?
Yeah, I would always feel that we are a blessed family. So,
Yeah.
How many millionaires? How many millionaires you can count?
Even in dollar or rupees.
Yeah. Right.
Whatever. In lira.
But
I'm sure they are all very well off, and that's why you are able to get support from them.
okay, very good. Very good. Yeah, they are very supportive.
Yeah, they are. Very.
And also quite a lot of friends like you who somehow are like us. That is good.
Well, we have empty pockets, so that's not very helpful.
That is
So
why
anyway.
I don't lose any friends, because I never ask friends for money.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. You have not asked me so far. Not that you would have got it. Anyway, so I wanted people to know the kind of work you are doing in Kerala, how you are dividing your time between these two countries. You keep in touch with leaders here, leaders in the United States. You are close to the Indian community there. So it's a really delightful, exceptional family. That's why I wanted you to be with me today to talk about
Thank
various
you.
things. So very happy that you agreed. I know you are very reluctant. You keep saying, "What have I done to deserve to be on your show?" I said, "You deserve to be on my show for more than anybody else because you are an happy couple from whom people can emulate, people can learn. That is what is important, right? And that is why you are.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you agreed to appear, and I'm sure my viewers, your friends, your relatives will all be happy to see you. And please share the information with others. Next Sunday, we will have the premiere, Indian time, Sunday at 5 p.m.
That
So
is
please
nice to hear that.
come on to
There.
I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link. Please share with all your friends. Anywhere in the world, they'll be able to see you on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that'd be great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you very much once again. Lekha send you her regards. She's downstairs. She asked me to convey her respects and regards to you, and she is also looking forward to your return.
Yes, we'll get
Okay.
to.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
And all the
Forward
best.
to.
Yeah.
Forward.
Thank
Keep
you.
happy. Keep
Thank
happy.
you.
Remain happy and well.
Say hi to Lada.
Yeah, say hi to Lena
Lekha.
later. All right.
Please come back soon. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.